It's payday! Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Isaiah, and in this video, we're going to talk about how much we're going to get paid on Friday from our high-yielding dividends through the YieldMax funds. If you're new to this channel, this is an income-generating account where we generate revenue through selling cash-secured puts, which means you agree to buy a stock for a predetermined price. We sell covered calls, which means we agree to sell a stock for a predetermined price, and we collect high-yielding dividend funds. Our goal is to collect a minimum of $600 every single week. We have hit that goal for 28 straight weeks, and this is week 29, and spoiler alert, we have hit it as well here. Recap on the week so far before we jump into our for our dividends. We have collected $371 through option selling. You can see all the credits. Here's our trade history. Let you calculate it up if you want to. But like I said, today's focus is how much money we're going to get paid through the YieldMax funds. So we have two funds paying us this week. Our Big Daddy fund is ULTY. We have 2,525 shares. I think we bought around 200 shares this week, which has been pretty awesome. Our average cost is $6.20 a share. So share value, we're down a little bit, but we have collected over $2,000 in dividends from this fund so far. So we got a little bit of a buffer. And then YMAX, we have 518 shares of this. Those two YieldMax funds pay weekly. So we're going to jump over to the Twitter account, the Twitter page, the official YieldMax Twitter page, so that we can see how much we're going to get paid in our yields. Okay, here we are on Twitter, and I do have a Twitter. If you want to follow me, you're welcome to. It's the Dr.25, no spaces. I've had a couple of people ask, where do you... So I do have a PhD, so that's kind of where it comes from. But anyway, that's not important. What is important is the YieldMax payouts that we are getting this Friday. So let's take a look at YMAX. They are paying 0.1453, so 14 cents per share. That's awesome. And ULTY, I cannot believe it, they are paying 10 cents a share again. That's now the fourth week in a row that they have paid 10 cents per share. I cannot believe that they've been able to sustain that. Every week I'm like, I'm sure they're going to pay around 9 cents, which again, 9 cents a share is fantastic, and I am very happy with that. But whenever we can see a nice 10-cent payout, that's an awesome feeling. So let's jump over to our calculator and calc out how much we are going to get paid this Friday. Okay, so the first thing we're going to calc out is how much we're going to get paid from YieldMax. So we have 518 shares, and they are paying 14.53 cents per share. So to get your dividend payout, you take your share total multiplied by the dividend yield, and that means we will get $75 on Friday from YieldMax. That's awesome, great dividend payout. ULTY, we have 2,525. Our goal is to get to 3,000 shares. We're going this every week. We don't usually buy 200 shares in a week, but we didn't open any new option positions. All we did was roll them. So because of that, we didn't have to use any more collateral. So I figured, why not use that collateral to buy some more ULTY shares? And this week, I'm glad I did, because if we multiply that by our 0.1003 or 10.03% per yield, we get $253.25. So that's amazing. $253 from ULTY plus the 75 from YMAX. We're going to get $328 from our dividend payouts this week. And if we add that to our $371 you saw in our trade history from options, that gives us $699.25. Wow, that's actually really unfortunate that it's not just $700. But our minimum weekly goal, as I said, is $600 every week. And now we have hit this every week consistently for 29 weeks. And Friday we'll do a recap of all the trades and the dividends and show our running total. But awesome payout again. Awesome yields from ULTY. We're going to close back in the Robinhood portfolio here. Okay, as I said, awesome yields coming this Friday from our dividends. Always remember, though, none of my trades or my plays are financial advice. They're my personal opinions. And I always like to reiterate the point. I think it's a lot safer to sell your own options rather than invest a lot of money into these high-yielding funds. That being said, I do like to kind of combine the two. I do have a ton of options open. Let's take a look here real quick. You can see all the option contracts I have open. I probably have 70 or 75 open option contracts because I believe that is the better way to generate income, but it's nice to combine that with some awesome payouts from a ULTY or a YMAX. As I said, the goal is to get 3,000 shares of ULTY, which we're at 2,500. And then once we get there, we are going to go for 500 shares of Coney. So that is going to be our next stop, 500 shares of Coney and also 500 shares of Tesla. I might kind of do those two simultaneously because I do have put options open on both of them. And if I were to get assigned, which again, when you sell a put, you're agreeing to buy a stock for a predetermined price. So when you sell that put, and if you get assigned, that means you're buying it for the price you agreed to buy it for. So I would own 200 shares of Tesla and 100 shares of Coney if I were to get assigned, and I'm good with that because, I'm trying to get 500 shares of each of those, and then 3,000 shares of ULTY. Then you combine that with our MRNY payments, our MSTY payments. The goal is to be getting around $2,000 a month in dividends and around $3,000 a month, maybe $2,500 a month in options. That's kind of the goal for the account in the near future, not super near, but within the next year and a half, maybe 2 years. And in investing world, that's really not that much time. So right now, we are averaging right around $2,500, $2,600 every month in profit revenue, maybe closer to $3,000 when you break it down. But that the goal is to get that up to around $5,000 a month within the next 2 years, and I think we will do it if we stick with it consistently. And the option strategy will always be with us. It kind of comes down to, will the dividend payouts for these yield max funds continue? I like them. I'm invested in them, as you see, but always make sure you're ready. You have your strategies in place because you never know what might happen. These funds seem to be game changers. They're similar to buy right funds, older buy right funds. But even them did not have the power and the structure that these funds have today. So I do like them. We'll see what happens. All we can do is continue to invest and stick with our plan. And let's continue to grow the account. And if you would, help me out. Subscribe to the video. Subscribe to the channel. Like the video. Leave a comment. Let me know how your yields and payouts are looking. I saw some awesome comments in the last video. Some people having upwards of 10, 15,000 shares of ULTY. That is awesome. I love that. Getting over $1,000 a week in dividends. That's a pretty awesome win right there. Other than that, I appreciate each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one.